I started a faceless YouTube channel from complete scratch. Watch me and copy exactly what I do. Now, let's try to scale this brand new ultra long form channel to 5 to 10K within the next 3 months. Now, I'm very excited for this series. I am pretty confident that I'm going to be able to do it, and it's honestly going to be pretty exciting. With ultra long form specifically, it has just become so easy, and I want to emphasize that this is not just a challenge, but a free ticket for anybody wanting to copy exactly what I do in today's video. Now, no, don't just copy the niche that I do, because chances are every single person that watches this video is going to do the exact same thing. So find something different, but obviously copy the exact same way that I sort of structured this and just find something that works for you. No more yapping. Let's get straight into this challenge. Now, for today's niche, we're going to initially need to find a niche. Now, as I said, we're doing ultra long form. If you guys aren't familiar with what that is, obviously on YouTube, we have shorts, we have long form, and then we have something I've really been pushing for recently, and that's ultra long form. 2 to 4 hour content, completely automated with AI that has an RPM of $20 to $40. Now, I've already done a bit of research and I know what niche I'm going to be going with. It is this style of content right here, like Space Dust. These guys are doing about an average, I think like $15,000 profit a month at the moment, just because the RPM, so how much they're paid per 1,000 views, is upwards of $40. So on average, it's going to be about 30 to 40 bucks per 1,000 views. So I'm thinking we replicate a niche exactly like this. Now, I know exactly how to replicate this. I know one for one how they're making their videos and how we can copy them. They're 100% AI, essentially zero work on our end needed, but one thing I want to emphasize is I am going to be investing money. Now, I know I have a big budget because obviously I make a lot of money on YouTube, but for you guys, you can do it yourself. You can be completely bootstrapped. Just copy everything I do, but without the middleman process. Just kind of handle it all yourself. Now, I know that's kind of annoying, but when I'm doing these videos, I want to be 1,000% transparent with you. I'm not going to sit here and say you can do exactly what I do with no capital, because it is going to cost money, and I'm 100% realistic with that. Now, let's get straight into it. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing this space niche. Now, a lot of people are starting to do this, but I think I can shine better than they're doing. Now, I've already created our channel and I've gone ahead and purchased a pre-monetized channel, meaning it's already monetized from the get-go. I've just recently purchased it. I've set up the channel and everything. It's called Astroverse. Now, let me take you on a journey through the universe, one video at a time. I've kind of set up the channel. I've got it all ready and it's monetized. So right off the rip, we're going to be generating passive money and we're not going to have to wait for that, obviously, to get monetized in the subscribers. If you guys want to get yourselves a pre-monetized channel, head over to premonetized.com, use the coupon code, let's say challenge, and it will give you, let's just say, a 10% off sale for the first 2 people just to celebrate releasing this. Once again, the link to this website is premonetized.com, but enough of that. I know it's kind of cheating, but I'm going to be using this for today's sort of challenge. Now, we've found our niche. We've set up our channel. So the 2 main things are done. Now it's essentially creating the content, getting the roadmap done, and essentially automating all the processes to start pumping out content and hopefully within the next few months, turning this into a 5 to even 10K a month channel and potentially even further than that. Now, as I said before, I'm going to be investing my money into this. You can copy what I do, but it will be more work if you aren't paying for labor. Let's get into it. What do we need to actually create this style of content? You guys can see it's literally just an AI voice, an AI script, and just like free to use background footage.
Number of satellite galaxies.
You guys can see we can replicate this on an even better scale than what they're currently doing pretty easily. So first things first, script writing. How do we automate this entire script? Now guys, as usual, I am 100% transparent in what I teach. So I'm going to teach you as I go, just so you can replicate exactly what I do. Now, I have one of their videos right here. First things first, we need to copy their script writing setup. So we're going to go ahead and look up YouTube transcript downloader. I've done this many, many times, but you're finally going to see me in action, actually doing it for something that I care about and wanting to make it sort of work. So I'm going to go ahead and make this script right now. Let's see if I can sort of copy that and then write up a prompt to generate me an insane script. Now guys, we've gone ahead and written up a prompt. Obviously, as I said, I've gone ahead and copied their transcript one for one. So we can literally just steal that and kind of copy the exact style and kind of pacing that they're doing for their content. So I've gone ahead and put it into ChatGPT. What I've said was I'm creating an ultra long form space channel, 3 to 4 hour content. Use this script as a reference. It needs to have good pacing, good hooks, and relaxing enough for people to fall asleep to. Now, if you don't know, this style of content, the reason why it makes so much money and the RPMs are so astronomically high is because people are watching this to fall asleep. Henceforth, they're listening to all the ads, and for the most part, they're watching the videos the entire way till the end, so you're really maximizing on that ad revenue and that AVD. So for today's video, I guess for the first script, we're going to go ahead and filter by popular. We're going to steal one of their outliers. This is how I always start all of my channels. I make sure that the content I'm posting is obviously an outlier, so something that performed exceptionally well on their channel in the past. Now, we're going to go ahead and find something that kind of stands out to us. I'm honestly leaning towards, you know how like his videos are, how did atoms form from nothing? I'm going to make a video and say, how was God created? I think that's a really good idea. So we're going to go, how was God created? Now I'm going to go ahead and press enter. And guys, FYI, you are going to have to work on your GPT model when you first initially start this because you need to sort of train it. Once you've trained it, you can consistently use it. But the main important thing that I've done here is telling it to space itself into 10 parts. 20 minutes each part, start with the first one. That is probably the most fundamental aspect. And FYI guys, this is going to be a big video. I'm going to go into depth on everything that I personally use to start all my brand new channels. So hopefully this is a bit more in-depth guide than my usual content. And there we go. It's already gone ahead and made it. But there is one massive problem. You guys can see here, soft, slow introduction. In the beginning, before stars, the script is perfect itself. But what we do not want is stuff like this, where it says pause, transition to cosmic perspective, soft, slow introduction, because this is going to cause some issues. When we put this into our AI software, it's essentially going to have a bunch of text that we really don't want. So I'm going to go ahead, wait for it to finish this and start optimizing it and tweaking it a little bit. So I've gone ahead and said, make sure to remove all the extra stuff. We just want script. So none of the soft, slow introduction. Now, perfect, just like that. Once again, as I said, we've completely trained it. It's now listening to what we say and it's actually making the changes. So let's say we finish this script, and FYI guys, I'm going to go ahead and do all of this, but I want to move through. I want to get to the next part so we can obviously get everything started today. Now, what is next on our list? We have our script sort of set up. I'm obviously going to funnel back to that to actually finish it off at the end of the video, but next thing is hiring a team, but of course, I don't know why I put that there. I think that this is obviously more important. First things first is voice acting. How are we going to do this? Now, me personally, I of course have the budget, so I'm going to be using 11 Labs. If you guys can't afford it, and I completely understand that, go ahead and check out fish.audio. You know, it's a decent alternative. It's very, very cheap. I believe it's like $7 per month. Yeah, it's super cheap for unlimited generations, but keep in mind, the quality is not on par with 11 Labs. But guys, if you do want to check out my one-on-one private mentoring where I essentially work directly with you and scale your channel to 10K a month, check out blakeryan.co. It's very high ticket, so no promises, but feel free to apply. And if I like your application and I decide to work with you, I'll definitely reach out. Now back to the video. We're going to go to 11 Labs and we need to find a voice that is sort of relaxing enough to do this style of content. Now, I think I've already kind of found one. I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. It is Andrew, Smooth Audio Books. Now, let me go ahead and generate this reference script. We're going to head back to AI, back to our sort of script that we just generated. We're going to go ahead and grab the intro. I always do this. I want to test it with my style of content and see if it's something that I personally could fall asleep to. Now, I'm going to go ahead and press generate speech and let's see if we have something we can work with.
In the beginning, before stars, before planets, before time itself, there was nothing.
Perfect. I really like that voice. It's obviously relaxing enough to be used for this style of content. So we've got our voice, we've got our script writing tool already optimized. So really all we'd be doing would be grabbing our script, funneling the entire thing into 11 Labs or whatever software you might be using, and then exporting your audio file. Now we're sort of on to the next step. All right. And I know I kind of flip-flopped it a little bit, but our next step is hiring a team. Now there are many ways we can do this. Of course, if you're sort of doing an ultra long form channel yourself, you definitely don't want to hire a team if you don't have the capital. I have the money myself, so I'm going to be investing about $1,000 a month to really start scaling this channel. If you want to handle it yourself, that's completely fine, but let me go ahead and show you how I would sort of organize a team, myself. All right, guys, so you're free to do this however you'd want, whether it's Upwork. I personally am going to be using Creative Paradise. It's a Discord server where you can essentially find really cheap talent. So let me go ahead and join this. I'm going to go ahead and write up a little job listing saying exactly what I need, and let's see what we can cook up. Guys, so I've gone ahead and made a job listing. Essentially what I said was ChatGPT scriptwriter plus simple video editor needed. Budget $100 a video, time frame 1 day. I sent them a sort of example and I said, looking for an editor that can write 3 to 4 hour scripts in ChatGPT, which is obviously very easy. We'll just lend them our sort of model that we've already personally trained. And then I said, then simply place them in the editing software with some ambient sounds and background videos and press export. Then of course, to try and reel them in a little bit more, I said super long-term job plus pay upgrades as time permits. Now, this is a great way to find editors. Of course, it's super cheap. I know $100 a video might sound expensive, but once they start DMing you, this is really to get them through the door. Once they DM you, you can obviously negotiate with them, and that's what I'm personally going to do. I've obviously been using the server for about a week now, and in that time, I've got 386 DMs from editors, literally just saying, yo, I can edit for you. Yo, I can edit. Hey, I saw you looking for a video editor. This is by far the easiest way to sort of hire talent, and this is definitely how I'm going to be doing it personally to automate this channel and and get it to 5 or even 10K a month. Now guys, I made this stupid mistake of because obviously they have a delay of 6 hours, so you can't post a listing every 6 hours, but I forgot to ping the roles in the initial message, so all these editors never got pinged, which is really annoying. But of course, I will still start getting DMs once they start seeing it, but it won't be as quick as it usually would be. But while we're waiting for that, we do have a few more things we have to do. Next thing, I think we are going to handle thumbnail design. It is so easy, and guys, let me just say, I'm about to give you probably the most overpowered method to do thumbnails in the history of YouTube automation, and easier than it has ever been previously. Now guys, let me just say, you're about to be a bit jealous, or not jealous, but you're gonna thank me after this. What I've gone ahead and gone on is app.vidiq.com/thumbnails. No, not sponsored. This is completely transparent and me telling you exactly how I personally do this myself. Now, we need a lot of thumbnails for this style. What I'm going to do is look up, go to the upload section. I'm going to give it a reference thumbnail to what I sort of need. Now, this actually isn't too good of a reference, so let me choose a different one. Let's go ahead and use this one right here. I'm going to give it a reference thumbnail, and obviously for today's video, our idea is of course, who created God? All right, so I've gone ahead and said, copy this exact thumbnail style for the idea, who created God? Have a hand holding a planet. I think this is a pretty good idea. I think this will perform well. What I'm going to do is obviously click create. And guys, this is insane. This has never been possible before. And this is free, by the way. You can just keep using free trials. I think you get maybe 3 a day. And of course, you can keep using different Gmail accounts and just spam out thumbnails and never have to pay. For that kind of saves like $20, $30 a video that we used to have to spend. Now guys, just look at what it's already made us. Now, a few of these aren't amazing, but this one is definitely usable. Now you can refine it. You can make changes. I'm going to say make the text better. Obviously not a fan of this text, but it still can perform well. But of course, I want you guys to be able to replicate exactly what I'm doing. And of course, I'm running this channel myself. I'm going to be handling all of this myself. So I kind of want to make sure I'm sort of on the right track and we do have something that is going to actually perform well long term. Alrighty, and just like that, I'm kind of a fan of this. Now, one thing I want to teach you guys is when you are getting thumbnails like this, there's one super crucial part. vidIQ isn't the best at saturation and brightness. So once you have your thumbnail, you're obviously gonna want to go over to some sort of Photoshop file, whether you want to use Photoshop. And I personally always do this. I increase the brightness first of all to kind of make it pop out on the homepage more and increase CTR. If you don't know what that is, that's click-through rate. Now there are a few things that affect the video's performance on the homepage. That's click-through rate, which is obviously CTR, and average view duration, which is AVD. Now this is obviously going to increase your click-through rate. I'm gonna make it look a lot more kind of saturated, make it pop out a little bit more, and just like that, we have an honestly pretty good thumbnail for this style of content that sort of copies the same style that is already working and already has a proven concept on Space Dust and all these other ultra long form space channels. And bang, just like that, our title, our script, our voice acting, and our thumbnail is all completely done. Now, all that's left is obviously waiting for the editors to get back to us. But there's still one more thing we have to kind of look into, and I want to teach you guys so you can replicate exactly what I'm doing. Now, the final thing is video ideation, and this is arguably the most important factor, and that's obviously what's going to contribute to a video's success. How do you video ideate? This is something that I'm probably best at, and this is where my talents really show. What I usually do to video ideate is head over to a channel that you want to copy. Let's say we're wanting to copy Space Dust. I'm going to go ahead and filter by popular, meaning we're filtering by all their outliers. Outliers meaning videos that performed exceptionally well on their channel, so chances are they're going to perform better on ours. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of their best performing videos. Now, I'm going to head back to ChatGPT and say, these videos performed amazing on my competitor's channel. Copy the same style with different ideas and give me 20 new ones. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and it's gonna give us a bunch of ideas that are following the same thing that worked on their channels. Now, just like that, who created reality? How did the universe begin before time existed? What was there before the Big Bang? All these ideas are fantastic. Now, what I personally do is double down once again and optimize it even more on the ones that I like the most. Now, obviously, I like this a lot, so I'm going to copy this one. What was there before the Big Bang? How did the universe begin before time existed? Stuff like that. Did an advanced civilization create the universe? All these ideas kind of follow the same structure that already worked previously on our competitor's channel. So all we're going to do is essentially get 15 videos ahead on scripts, voice acting, thumbnails, and video ideation. Once again, we can continue reusing this exact same sort of GBT file and continue pumping through that and not having to start again. Now let's go ahead and see, yeah, we haven't got any DMs yet from this server specifically. And as I said, that's solely because we forgot to ping the role. big rookie mistake on my end. Make sure you aren't doing the same thing that I did. But yes, we have our channel all ready to go, essentially monetized. So straight away when we start posting, we're going to have a $20 to $40 RPM, which is obviously fantastic. And I'm honestly really excited to see where this channel goes. Hopefully we can scale it to 5 to 10K a month. Once again, if you guys want to pick yourselves up a pre-monetized channel prior to anything, use the code challenge and you get a 20% off or 10% off sale. And that's obviously only going to work for the first 2 people. If you want to work directly with me and I'll personally scale you to 10K a month, check out blakeryan.co. It's my own one-on-one mentorship. And finally, join discord.gg/1%. It's my private community where I share free info and obviously review all your channels. Thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing how this channel goes. It's going to be really exciting. Peace out, stay safe, and I'll see you all later.